Catterick is a village, civil parish and electoral ward in the Richmondshire district of North Yorkshire, England. It is 8.5 miles northwest of the county town of Northallerton, just to the west of the River Swale. It lends its name to nearby Catterick Garrison and the nearby hamlet of Catterick Bridge, the home of Catterick Racecourse, where the village Sunday market is held. It lies on the route of the old Roman road of Dere Street and is the site of the Roman fortification of Cataractonium. Toponymy. The etymology of the name is derived from the Latin place name. Cataractonium looks like a Latin-Greek mixture meaning place of a waterfall, but it might have been a Roman misunderstanding of the Celtic name Caturatus, meaning battle ramparts, as partly supported by the spelling Kappa Alpha Tau Omicron Upsilon Rho Alpha Kappa Tau Omicron Nu Iota Omicron Nu on the Ptolemy world map. History. The place is mentioned in Ptolemy's Geographia of c. 150 as a landmark to locate the 24th climb. It dates back to Roman times, when Cataractonium was a Roman fort protecting the crossing of Dere Street over the River Swale. Catterick is thought to be the site of the Battle of Catraeth mentioned in the Welsh language poem Y Gododin. This was fought between Celtic British Brythonic kingdoms and the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Bernicia. Paulinus of York performed baptisms nearby in the River Swale. Catterick is mentioned in the Domesday Book as Catras. The manor was held by Earl Edwin at the time of the Norman invasion, and was afterwards granted to Count Alan of Brittany. Thereafter the domain manor was held by the Lords of Richmond. The manor has been held by John of Gaunt in the 14th century and the Earls of Salisbury in the 15th century. The manor was held for a while by Sir John Conyers from 1484. During the reign of Queen Mary I, the manor was granted to the youngest daughter of Henry Pole, 1st Baron Montague, whose son Francis Barrington inherited the honour. The Barrington family passed the manor to Richard Braithwaite, whose descendants inherited the manor and held it until the 18th century. Other lords of the manor included the Lawson family, who held it into the late 19th century. Palatil, just to the north of the village church, is the site of the earthwork remains of a motte and bailey castle. It is thought to have been built by King Stephen in the mid-12th century to control the Great North Road. It has been designated a scheduled ancient monument. To the south of the village, on the south side of the A1-A6163 interchange, is the site of a small Roman roadside settlement and cemetery on Bynes Farm. It has been designated a scheduled ancient monument. In later times, Catterick prospered as a coaching town where travellers up the Great North Road would stop overnight and refresh themselves and the horses. Today's Angel Inn was once a coaching inn. A mile to the southeast of the surviving earthworks of Killerby Castle, a medieval motte and bailey castle, Catterick was a large ancient parish extending into 3 wapentakes of the North Riding of Yorkshire. It included the townships of Appleton, Bolton upon Swale, Brough, Colburn, Ellerton upon Swale, Hipswell, Hudswell, Killerby, Kiplen, Scorton, Scotton, Ickerby and Whitwell. All these places became separate civil parishes in 1866. In 1914, Catterick Camp was established 4.7 miles west of the village, in the ancient parish of Catterick but in the civil parishes of Hipswell and Scotton. RAF Catterick. The airfield to the south of the village, also opened in 1914, was transferred to the Army and is now Marne Barracks, named after the site of 2 significant battles of the First World War. In 1974, Catterick was transferred to the new county of North Yorkshire. Governance. The village lies within the Richmond UK Parliament constituency. It also lies within the Catterick Bridge electoral division of North Yorkshire County Council and the Catterick ward of Richmondshire District Council. Catterick has a parish council that covers the same area as the district ward and returns 2 councillors to the district council. Geography. The village lies along a 6136 road to Richmond and is bypassed by the A1. The A1 bypass, which cost £1 million at the time, was opened in 1959 by Lord Chesham, the Joint Parliamentary Secretary to the Ministry of Transport. The River Swale turns southward just to the north of the village at Catterick Bridge and flows to the east side of the Catterick. Rough Beck runs east through the village to join the River Swale. There are several bodies of water that are the result of quarrying. Within 2.5 miles of Catterick are the villages of Brompton-on-Swale, Catterick Bridge, Colburn, Tunstall, East Appleton, Ellerton-on-Swale, Whitwell, Scorton and Uckerby. Demography. 2001 census. The 2001 UK census showed that the population was split 52.6% male to 47.4% female. The religious constituency was made of 83.4% Christian, 0.25% Buddhist, 0.11% Jewish, 0.11% other, and the rest stating no religion or not stating at all. The ethnic makeup was 97.6% white British, 0.9% white other, Irish, 0.4% mixed ethnic, 0.21% black British, 0.21% other ethnic and 0.25% British Asian. There were 1,050 dwellings. 2011 census. The 2011 UK census showed that the population was split 58% male to 42% female. The religious constituency was made of 70.75% Christian, 0.16% Buddhist, 0.19% Muslim, 0.85% Hindu, 0.54% other, and the rest stating no religion or not stating at all. The ethnic makeup was 92.4% white British, 2.3% white other, Irish, 1.2% mixed ethnic, 0.76 black British, 0.38 other ethnic and other, and 1.77% British Asian. There were 1,200 dwellings. Culture and community. Marne Barracks borders the village to the south along Leeming Lane and Oran Lane. The base and service quarters are separated from the village by a protective fence. There are a few local businesses, such as takeaway food outlets, local store with post office, public house and a car service station. There is a sports ground which is used for cricket and football. BFBS radio broadcasts from studios on Shute Road across the town and surrounding areas on 106.9 FM as part of its UK bases network. Michael Siddle CE Primary School provides education for a mixed-gender pupil intake between the ages of 4 and 11. The school has an official capacity of 252 pupils. The school is named after a vicar of the village church of St Anne who founded a school in the village in 1658. The school is in the catchment area of Ryesdale Sports and Amp Community College in nearby Catterick Garrison for secondary education needs. Religion. The church in the village is dedicated to St Anne and is a Grade I listed building. The current building was completed in 1412 and added to in both 15th and 19th centuries. A Wesleyan chapel was built in the village in 1842 on Low Green next to the local public house. Notable residents. John Catterick is reputed to have come from the village. He held the positions of Bishop of Coventry and Lichfield as well as the Bishop of Exeter and Bishop of St David's. He was an important member of the King's Court during the reigns of Henry IV and Henry V. Theophilus Lindsay, the Unitarian minister and theologian, was vicar of Catterick for 10 years from 1763 until 1773. partly to live close to his friend and father-in-law Francis Blackburn. Thomas Booth was the owner and farmer of the nearby estate of Killerby. He was a successful stock breeder, winning prizes for breeding out defects in the traditional shorthorn cattle to produce better milk and meat-producing animals. Alexander John Scott was a vicar of Catterick from 1816 until his death in 1840. A naval chaplain, he had served with his uncle, Rear Admiral Alexander Scott, in the West Indies. He was a close friend and secretary of Lord Horatio Nelson. Sir William Brown attended the school of Rev. Bradley in Catterick. He became a successful merchant, firstly in the cotton trade and later in shipping and finance. In later years he became involved in local politics in Liverpool and represented the South Lancashire parliamentary constituency. William Henry Angus attended boarding school at Catterick. He initially had a career at sea, but became a church minister and missionary. George Fife Angus attended Catterick School from 1801 to 04 and was the younger brother of William Henry Angus. He joined the South Australia Land Company in 1832 and shortly after became a member of the South Australia Colonisation Commission. Frederick John Jackson was born at Oran Hall in Catterick in 1860. He had a career in the British Imperial East Africa Company before turning to public service. He held the position of Lt. Governor of the East Africa Protectorate and then Governor of Uganda from 1911 to 1917.